So, are you here? Everyone is here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let us begin then. Hello, dear speakers and guests. Welcome to the Interuniversity Student Scientific Practical Conference. My name is Alena Khazyainova, and I am a second-year master student of People's Friendship University of Russia, and I will be the host of this first session, which is called PR Campaigns Examples, Tactics, Strategies, and Measure of Success. Today we have 9 speakers, not only from Russia, but also from China and Kazakhstan. And I want to remind you that the speech of each speaker who submits a presentation individually shouldn't last longer than 5 minutes. And if you present your work in pairs, your speech shouldn't be longer than 7 minutes. Please follow the regulations. And addressing to the audience, I want you to listen to the speakers attentively and participate in the conversation after presentations. So you're welcome to ask your questions, and if you come up with a question during the presentation, you can type it in the chat. So since I said everything what I wanted to say, so let us begin our session. And I want to give the floor to our first speaker, Yanziu Zhao from Sichuan International Studies University. And the topic of the presentation is how can the public relation build a brand awareness booster? Yanziu, you have 5 minutes for your speech. If you're ready, you may start. You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm ready.
Okay, and I'm going to show your presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Here it is. Okay, you can see a presentation, right?
Actually, no. I can't see my presentation. How about you?
Guys, does anybody?
Okay, I can see now.
Okay, great. So,
okay, thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. In case that I only have 5 minutes, so I will go through this PowerPoint directly. Okay, hello, my name is Rachel, and you can call me Rachel. My Chinese name is Yanqiu Zhao. I come from Sisu International and Sichuan International Study University, and today my topic is how can the public relations increase brand awareness? Okay, now let's move to another page. In the first part, I will give the leading in. So maybe you and I will wonder what's the relationship between the public relation and brand awareness? Are they help each other or fight with each other? Maybe there are some circumstances exactly to work on them. So with these questions, I begin my outline, and in 3 parts. First one, what's the definition of public relations and brand awareness? The second one is I will give you some example and try to find the way. Finally, I will give the conclusion that how can the public relation increase brand awareness? Okay, so in the second part, I will explain some keywords. It's the definitions. First one, the definition of the public relation. You know, public relation theory, it put forward not for a very long time, but in some literature, it serious planning and communication activities. These activities aims to help or improve the relationship between the consumer, projector, society, and so on. So, for companies, they want to promote the scale of the goods. And so after we'll find that the public relation is some kind of people-oriented management art. And the second definition is a brand. A brand is a name, symbol, or design, or the sum of the above, the purpose of which is to make your own products or service is different from other competitors. So we know there is no two exactly same brand, you know. Okay, I think that brand is an abstract channel that can convince companies' value to consumers. It's some kind of link. The definition of a brand awareness is a degree of consumers' memory of a brand. So brand awareness is some kind of abstract concept. Okay, now let's move on to the second part. I will give you exactly two examples to support my point. So with the rapid development of economic globalization and improvement of brand awareness is also imminent. Public relations, sorry. Oh, I can't see my PowerPoint now.
Okay, I'm trying to fix it. Wait a moment. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm talking about the.
Okay, what slide should I turn?
Sorry.
What slide you are on?
Yeah. Now I can see now, but it's
next.
Yeah. I will choose this PowerPoint. Okay. Wait a second. Definition and the example. Yeah. Okay. Now I will continue. Sorry. The interrupt. Okay. So then the first example is that this group Procter and Gamble. So the Procter and Gamble joined Chinese venture in I think it's 1982. Oh no, sorry, it's 1988. So I have Chinese company. It's named Guangzhou P&G. They launched a hair conditioner at the 15th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. So at the same time, they launched the painting Fall in Love with Your Hair, China Hairdressing Central Retrospect exhibition. You can see in the picture, in the left one is the hair condition of painting in China, and the right one is in the Western version. So you can see they are actually the same product in two different countries. They use the same culture. The same concept in two different culture. And I will go to the next. Okay, the next is my main point. It's a water town named Wuzhen, China. This water town has like 6,000 history in China. We call them land of fish and rice and the home of silk. It's a very beautiful town. I welcome you all to come to China, see it. Actually, it's a beautiful town, witness the history which attract tourists from all over the world. And the first World Internet Conference was held in Wuzhen, Zhejiang, China. Since then, a brand internet ad era in Wuzhen has been opened, and the permanent venue of the Internet Conference is in Wuzhen now. So you can see, actually, the long history of Wuzhen, I must share with you about this. Okay, Wuzhen's urban brand image has changed because the public relation with different countries, and we can see that in this change process, it is a world renewed small town with integrated and it also enhanced under the good public relation and international image of Chinese government. Obviously, this process is a spiraling process. It has changed from a beautiful town in the southeast of the Yangtze River to an image of an era, internet, modern, and international town because the public relationship with among the world. So I will go to the final part. Actually, this is my summary. Public relations can act as a brand awareness booster in some circumstances, as before I see it and give the example. So the good public relations can promote effective communication and exchanges with the public, so that the company's brand image is highly consistent with the public sense of identity. And the final one is that for companies, because we talk about companies more frequently. So if you want or company want public relations become a brand awareness booster rather than a burden, the company or the society must help the company realize their social, economic, and market value. So that's all about my today's PowerPoint and report. Thank you for your listening. Thank you. Okay. Then
Well,
do you have any questions?
Yeah, Rachel, thank you very much. And I also want our audience to participate in the conversation. Does anyone have questions? You can ask. Don't be shy.
Yeah, if you have any questions. I talk a little quickly. Okay, I guess they don't have questions.
Okay. Yeah. I want to thank you once again for your very interesting and fascinating information. And thank you for giving an example of our of your Chinese advertising of Pantene and ours, because we all we are all acquainted with such a brand, and this is amazing that you showed that we somehow have something in common, let's say. Yeah, thank you very much, Rachel. And we have to move on to the next speakers.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. The next two speakers are my peers, so to say, Anastasia Usynina and Anastasia Vasilkovskaya, second-year master's students of People's Friendship University of Russia, and you're welcome to submit your presentation named IKEA PR Campaigns from Design and Quality to the Wonderful Everyday. I remind you that you have 7 minutes. You're welcome. You can start.
Yes, thank you, Alona. I'm about in our presentation. Good afternoon, my name is Anastasia Usynina. Today my colleague Anastasia Vasilkovskaya and I would like to present you IKEA's major PR campaigns.
IKEA's PR techniques include not only free catalogs and leaflets. IKEA stores often hold special promotions on different topics, for example, Light Day or Kitchen Day, which are accompanied by giveaways and sales. On the Kitchen Day, for instance, cookies are baked in the store and distributed to visitors along with recipes. Also, in the same way, IKEA organizes pre-holiday promotions such as Christmas trees by IKEA.
The most important part of IKEA promotion is its PR campaigns. IKEA became the first company to film a tolerant ad with a homosexual couple in 1994. Thanks to this advertising campaign, IKEA became known everywhere. In 1996, IKEA teamed up, invited British housewives to the IKEA stores to help them get rid of chintzy clutter inherent in British houses and replace it with IKEA-branded Scandinavian design. In 2008, IKEA teamed up with the creators of the Sims 2 video game to release an expansion stuff pack called IKEA Home Stuff, which included many IKEA's projects.
Electronic cards for public transport payment in London were also issued with IKEA branded wallets. Also, the MV Red Osprey of Red Funnel was painted in yellow and blue for 12 months as a part of its deal with IKEA for home delivery. And IKEA ran a Facebook campaign where people had to compete to celebrate their wedding at an IKEA store. The winner was an Australian couple who got married at an IKEA store in Birmingham on Valentine's Day, and their wedding was decorated using IKEA products.
Now we will tell you about recent campaigns. IKEA developed accessories that make existing furniture more accessible to people with disabilities. This able collection modifies IKEA furniture items and improves their performance, offering, for instance, a larger switch for a lamp or wedges for lifting a sofa. This campaign takes place in Israel and all designs are freely available on the website. Thus, everyone can 3D print them.
The Cook This Page campaign helps to create new dishes using already known products. The recipes offered products that could be purchased at an IKEA store. The posters featured a series of recipes with precise instructions and printed proportions, and each sheet is made of a plant-based paper, which after placing the ingredients can be put in the oven and cooked.
The 2 Nights to Sleep campaign shows what it would be like to party in a nightclub where people come to sleep. IKEA nightclub has a central courtyard full of beds. Waiters serve tea instead of cocktails, in the bathroom people brush their teeth instead of fixing their makeup, and visitors are offered cereals with milk and toast instead of pizza or kebabs as a meal.
Later, IKEA found a large number of tweets with the hashtag insomnia and decided to help people to cope with their sleep disorder. The IKEA campaign started on Twitter at 1 a.m. and lasted until 5 a.m. People who posted their messages with this hashtag automatically took part in this competition, and they could win new mattresses that could be delivered to their home the same night.
IKEA believes that home is a place full of memories and feelings. Therefore, it encourages people to stay home. With the Stay Home hashtag, this ad suggests us to make our home a place where we can enjoy new experiences and sensations. According to IKEA, we will need the simplest kit to follow their advice: a key, a lock, and 100 rolls of toilet paper.
IKEA's campaign also transformed the rabbit and the turtle fable. In this ad, we can see a rabbit who is going to have competition the next day, but in the evening he meets his friends and decides to party with them. Everything goes out of control. He comes home late, and then we can see a rested turtle that wakes up in the morning and she is ready to have competition. Intuitively, we understand how everything ends. This campaign is designed to show how important leisure time is, and it also has to help people to normalize their sleep.
IKEA advertised Mama Bear campaign on Earth Day. In the ad, an animatronic bear encourages people to take care of nature. In a passive-aggressive way, the Mama Bear asks people to ride bikes instead of driving cars, eat less meat, turn off the lights, and use bulbs that have low energy consumption. With body language, facial expression, and sound design, this bear can show loads of emotions that help to create a strong and caring image of the Mama Bear.
The last IKEA's campaign showed that its robots can fight pollution. In this set, we can see a small robot who wants to save the earth with his own hands. He tries to clean factories, waterways, and beaches filled with oil, but he sees that all his attempts are in vain, and he comes home very depressed. At home, he sees that his family leads an environmentally friendly life using IKEA products. The goal of this campaign is to destroy the idea that ecologically friendly life is expensive and tough.
In addition to commercials, IKEA uses some other PR techniques such as billboards, signs at bus stops, or light boxes. The company even began to attach its furniture wherever it could be done. For instance, it managed to decorate some subway trains. IKEA started using banners in a creative and unusual way. Thus, it created an advertising wall from which it was possible to take the box on a moving day in Canada. Later, people began to take part in PR campaigns. They played out real-life scenes, building an ordinary room with daily routine in the center of the city.
Over the years of its existence, IKEA has gradually replaced one tactic of attracting customers with another. Now it promotes the idea, design, ways of furniture usage, decoration, and color collaborations. IKEA involves people into a kind of game that attracts their attention and helps them start thinking of changing their home.
Many thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, we would be delighted to answer them.
Okay, thank you very much. It was really interesting and eye-catching. Your presentation was eye-catching and really colorful. So the audience, do you have? Okay, I can see that Veronica has a question.
Yes, Veronica Filimonova. Girls, thank you for your presentation. And I have a question to both of you. if we talk about Russian IKEA, how do you think a kids' room in an IKEA is a PR company?
What exactly is a PR company, pardon?
Kids' room.
You mean the ones that are in the exhibition hall?
Yeah.
That's actually...
And like a playing room for kids where parents can forget about their kids and just go shopping to IKEA.
I think that's, I wouldn't say that it's just a PR campaign. I would say that it's something that can be applied to the whole IKEA's concept, at least because all IKEA stores have exhibition halls, and I think that these kids' rooms are also a part of some IKEA stores, the ones which are in maybe near to other stores. So maybe this is something that they have developed through the whole time, and I wouldn't say that just this is not a PR campaign anymore.
Yes, and also the IKEA wants its customers to visit their organization, their, I don't know, shops. And if they want their visitors to do it for a long time, so maybe it's a kind of PR campaign, but it is made just to make also their clients to spend hours in IKEA. So yes, maybe it's some kind of PR campaign.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Veronica and girls. And we have another question from Alexandra Vladimirovna, right?
Yes, hello, Borisova Alexandra. Thank you, girls, for your presentation. I have a question. As we have seen, IKEA uses different aspects of ecological, social, and other problems in their PR campaigns. Can you say that it is a good way for marketing, and why?
I would say that it is a good way, and IKEA does it sincerely because they they not just try to sell their furniture by promoting the ecological ideas, but they really care about nature, and they want people to care about it as well.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. Thank you for the question and for the answer. And you are such experts in your topic. And we have another question from Ekaterina. Ekaterina.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for your presentation. Yeah, IKEA is it's a nice company, and now we have a better understanding of it. So my question is actually very similar to Alexandra's. So my question was, do you think that PR campaigns in general can be a great tool to spread awareness about actual problems, not just ecological, but in general? Is it a tool nowadays?
In my opinion, yes, because as we could see in these videos that we showed you, there are many aspects of different problems in the world that also can be attached. And yes, in my opinion, it's a great tool to cope with all these problems.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And Amina.
Hello. So once again, thank you for the presentation. Great choice of topic. Like everybody loves IKEA. And I have a question regarding the necessity of these PR campaigns in general. So at this point, everybody knows IKEA and everybody loves to shop there. So do you think they still have a need to create something outstanding, or they're popular regardless and they don't need it anyway?
I think that even if IKEA finishes doing something extraordinary or unusual in their PR campaigns, people will still love them because they have already developed this. They people already know about them, so there is no need, I think, now to tell the world about them more.
And also, as we have said, IKEA always changes its tactics of attracting customers, and every, in my opinion, ad is really extraordinary with its special things. So the brand awareness of IKEA is really big, and I don't think that they are going to stop their PR campaigns.
Well, I mean, Amina, are you happy with the response of girls?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, and we have another question, one more, from Olga Galota. Are there any peculiarities in IKEA's PR campaigns for Russia?
Actually, I might say that everything that we just have seen in this presentation also could be met in Russia, because Anastasia was speaking about metro car, which was designed with the help of IKEA products. And when we made this presentation in Moscow, there were these metro cars that were decorated with furniture from IKEA, and all these PR campaigns, they also can be met in Russia, in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you, girls, for your presentation. And it was very surprising that and we can see from your presentation that IKEA is ahead of us, for example, ahead of Russia in their campaigns because of, for example, their 1994th tolerant homosexual ad that cannot be approved, still cannot be approved in Russia. And this is amazing that you showed us such examples, and it is really fascinating. Thank you for your speech.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And we move on to the next two speakers, Evgenia Yan and Diana Shepeleva, second-year master students of People's Friendship University of Russia. You are invited to submit your work called Kaspersky Lab or Kaspersky Restyling as a Path to Success. You have 7 minutes as well. Please take the floor.
Thank you. Just a moment, please. Can you see our presentation?
Yes, we can.
Good afternoon. Today we, Evgenia Yan and I am Diana Shepeleva, would like to talk about restyling using the example of the Russian company Kaspersky and decide if restyling is the path to success or not. First, a few words about building brand awareness. Kaspersky Lab is a major developer and creator of software in Russia and in the world, the goal of which is information security. In November 1992, a group of 5 people, led by Evgeny Kaspersky, released its first full-fledged product, AVP 1.0. In 1994, he won a comparative test carried out by the test laboratory of the University of Hamburg. This provided the product with international fame. In 1997, Kaspersky and his colleagues decided to create their own company, acting as co-founders of Kaspersky Lab. In June 1997, Kaspersky Lab became independent. This date is considered the birthday of the company. Another significant event for the laboratory took place in 1999, when its first overseas office was opened in the UK. And 20 years ago, the company has applied to the Russian Patent Office, renamed the AVP program to Kaspersky Antivirus.
To start with, let me tell you about restyling. Restyling is a style-changing brand attributes that maintain the ideology, brand positioning. Restyling are cosmetic changes in the appearance of the brand, mainly in the logo, trademark, and information material. The purpose of the restyling is marketing renewal, refreshing of the brand image, following the trend and modernization of the style. The attributes of corporate identity of the brand have a communication aspect. The logo affects the consumer who reads information about the brand. If the brand doesn't change in style through the time, it may lose the effect of novelty and originality. Restyling in this case is a necessary step to maintain the formed image.
The first logo appeared in 1997 when the company was taking its first steps. The logo was inspired by the shape of the letters of the Greek alphabet, and the mysterious lab was not always paid attention to, and outside of Russia, the company was often called simply Kaspersky. With the development of the internet, new formats emerged, and the logo with its red triangles was hard to read on small screens. In 2019, the logo took on a new look, sponsored by moving brands. It is built from geometric LED forms to symbolize openness and safety. The new logo is based on the engineering spirit of the team. Every detail of the logo has been worked out with the utmost precision.
Let's discuss main changes in Kaspersky brand image. Since the logo is the main identifying mark, the letter K is used in mobile applications and websites as an icon. The optimal syncness of the letter on the application icon was created in the case of visual aspect. Developing the print. It's called Kaspersky Sans and exists in the form of Latin and Cyrillic and looks great in any size. Such a move again brings uniqueness and brand and increase its awareness. Correctly selected palette of colors. The original color were dark blue and dark green. It does an excellent job of differentiating the brand from competitors. Subsequently, several more colors were added, adopted for the perception of consumers. Shapes and forms. Each image created is relevant to a specific theme and context, but they are all united by recognizable visual style. The hexagonal shape shows the shape of the product icons, symbolizing the connection between the heritage and modernity. Slogans aimed at the future force make consumers to be convinced of the quality of the product and fully trust the brand. So the original slogans are: "We are building a secure world, activate the future." Reading these slogans, we believe in the force of this brand and the slight future of it. As a result, after relaunching the brand in a new style, the company saw a rapid increase in product awareness in all markets and an increase in sales growth. Next slide, please. You may see as a table the growth of the price of the brand Kaspersky after the restyling of the brand. For example, overall brand awareness increased by 4%, popularity among consumers increased by 3%, and according to the study of YouTube brand Lift, advertising has shown significant effectiveness in selected markets. So through this example, we see the high sales after the restyling. Thank you for your attention. Okay, thank you, girls. your presentation was so structured and organized. Well, yeah. The question to the audience: do you have any questions to the girls? Okay, Ksenia Vadimovna, could you please ask?
So girls, thank you for your presentation. And my question is, what is the reason for changing the brand logo that existed in 1997? The time lost, the fashion changes. That's why the company tries to be more modern, to be more fashionable. That's why they just restyle their logo. Does it the only reason? I think it's the main reason. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. And Ekaterina. Okay, your microphone doesn't work. Okay, you can type your question in the chat. Okay, maybe someone else. Okay, let me ask you a question. Well, you have told us about restyling, and what is the difference between the restyling and rebranding?
Rebranding are more root changes of the brand that change the corporate image of the organization. At the moment when restyling are cosmetic changes of the logo, trademark, etc.
Okay, but you, maybe I'm mistaken, but you told us about some principles that were changed while the restyling. No, isn't that such a big, not a cosmetic change?
No, these were cosmetic changes of the brand. We told you about the logo, the thickness of the letters, and the colors that were used in the logo. So these are cosmetic changes.
Okay, thank you. Now I get what is the difference.
Sorry.
And,
my microphone works again. My question is, oversimplifying is now a tendency, so I see that not every person likes it. So do you think that oversimplifying is a good manner of changing the logo? Does it lose its, I don't know, something that makes it unique?
It's a good
or
question.
Just a good way to change? I don't know, just.
It's a good question, and I'd like to remind you a proverb that tastes differ. The new logo, to my opinion, the new logo is more relevant since it is made in the style of minimalism, which is now a trend. Just because clients don't have time to read a word written in a complex font. And the new logo is so laconic that you understand the name of the company just from the first letters.
Yeah, thank you, but I just thought that oversimplified logos just lose something that belongs to them. But yeah, thank you for your answer. I got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you thank you to the audience. You are so active. Okay, and girls, I want to thank you as well. And we have to move on to our next two speakers, who are Polina Nechupas and Tatiana Getman. They are also second-year master students of People's Friendship University of Russia, and their presentation is about Victoria's Secret collective. Will Victoria's Secret conquer the modern female collective? Are you ready to begin?
Yes, just a few moments to open the presentation.
Okay, you can start.
So yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to present you the results of our research on Victoria's Secret PR campaigns. And we will start with the brief history of Victoria's Secret success and decadence. Then we will cover the reasons for decadence and attempts to resurrect the brand. So Victoria's Secret is one of the most prominent companies of women underwear in the global market. And since its foundation in 1977, Victoria's Secret had been steadily conquering the market. And in 2006, it won 1/3 of the American lingerie market. However great the success might have been, the situation took a turn for the worse over the past 5 years. And since 2016, the gross profit and net income of the company had started to decline. And another notorious part of the company is its fashion show, which took part every year since 1995 to 2018, when it was closed due to criticism. And a recent study focuses on the examination of Victoria's Secret models who took part in the show over the given period. So they analyzed the physical appearance of the models, and the results show that the average age and average dress size of models who took part in the show decreased significantly over the given period. Although the reasons for that are still debatable, it can be the result of the male gaze upon women's beauty.
So what could have become a possible accelerant of such a dramatic decadence of a leading brand at the lingerie market? First and foremost, the executives of the brand used to be excessively conservative in terms of either choosing models or also the lingerie collection, because it was too flawless, too ideal, and it was of limited size range. Therefore, it didn't really fit the majority of average, ordinary women. Therefore, it also was a massive drawback. Actually, the age of our current age is something like, the age of self-acceptance, body positivity, and self-respect. Though Victoria's Secret executives just stayed isolated and neglectful to their customer needs and insisted on bombarding them with those flawless female body types, and they just didn't react to the needs of their customers. Further on, the last but not the least reason of the decadence of the Victoria's Secret brand was cases of harassment of the models by the executives of the brand. Next slide, please. Nevertheless, the executives of the brand tried to make several attempts to resurrect the brand, to regain its former popularity, and it was done in 3 major steps. The first one, the new VS collective concept was created. Secondly, the brand color has been changed, and of course, some changes were done in advertising campaigns. Next. So as to the VS Collective, it's a new concept of the Victoria's Secret brand, and it is aimed at cultivating women's accomplishments rather than their appearance. And among participants of this new concept, there are Megan Rapinoe, who fights for an equal pay for female athletes, also Priyanka Chopra, who's an extremely famous American actress, and Valentina Sampaio, who is the first Victoria's Secret transgender model. Next. As for the change of the brand color, we all know the former Victoria's Secret brand color, which is slightly aggressive to pinkish, I would say, and it has been replaced with light pink. It is more friendly and it is less aggressive and pleasant to an eye. Next. And now a few words as to the advertising campaign. We all remember those campaigns, the fashion shows with tiny models, like ultra skinny models donning high heels in luxurious lingerie collections. But nowadays it has been substituted with lingerie collection, which is more convenient, comfortable. It has a sense of practicality. The colors are more autumnal, nude, calming, and models are racially diverse. They are of various body size, and they are not flawless. They are ordinary, like we all are. So now the vision has been changed into something more natural and realistic, I would say. Next. And in conclusion, we would like to mention that the case with Victoria's Secret is extremely illustrative because it shows that the worst PR strategy for even a leading brand at the market is to stay isolated and neglectful and distance from your audience, target audience. And that, stubborn desire to roll up with something that took place several decades ago, to stay too conservative, is a massive drawback. Nevertheless, the Victoria's brand executives are now trying to finally turn to the needs of their customers, target audience, and it might have a positive perspective to revive the brand and to get rehabilitated in the eyes of the public. So I guess that's all, and if you have any questions, we are happy to answer them.
Well, thank you, Tatiana and Polina. It was very interesting, and since there are a lot of hype and stir around this brand, around this company, now we can get the roots of it, and now we can see different changes that appeared. And we are witnessing them right now, and this is very interesting. And the audience, does anyone have any questions? You can ask. Don't be shy. Okay, we can see the question in the chat. Daria Bakhareva, she asks, do you think that the invitation of new ambassadors will quickly regain the audience's trust?
I wouldn't say that only that would regain the audience trust. As we have already mentioned, it's only one of the stages. So the brand cannot regain its former popularity by means of creating a new concept and inviting people who are some social and feminist activists. No, it should be done only in combination with other steps, as changing the brand color, changing the corporate policy as well, changing the vision of the brand, and changing the lingerie collection. No, of course, just ambassadors wouldn't be something necessary, because everything would be done in vain. It would be like trifle means,
Yeah, I agree completely with Polina that only this step is not enough. However, it is a manifestation of a change in this company. Inviting such, social actors may help raise awareness of Victoria's Secret as a changing brand.
Well, thank you. I think that Daria is satisfied with your answer. And we have another question in the chat. I cannot open it. Oh, wait. Okay.
We see it, so don't worry. So there is a question about manifestation, about changing, about feminism. I wouldn't really say that the brand now is solely aimed at pursuing feminist goals and attracting people of that field of social activity. But yeah, they are trying to finally turn to the needs of their customers, target audience, and these are ordinary women who, also want to look fabulous, also want to have nice lingerie, also want to be like the models on the fashion show. But that is not always possible, because we always compare ourselves to those Victoria's Secret angels who we see at the TV screen. And therefore, the brand has changed the lingerie collection just to be more available to any type of women, because we're always comparing ourselves to the other people, but we're always diverse. So therefore, it's just a massive step to change the corporate policy, but not to be, like a pro-feminist brand.
Okay, that's all, right? Tanya, you don't add. Okay, thank you very much. And the next question, I can see a raised hand from Alexandra Borisova. You can ask.
Yeah, thank you very much. My question is, can you say that the style of the products Victoria's Secret sells right now refers to the way of their PR campaign, to the, for example, to the color of their brand and so on.
You mean like the brand color equals the color of lingerie collection?
Oh, yeah, for example.
No, no. As you have seen at the picture, they now opt for more nude autumnal colors, not like, you know, pinkish or red, aggressive red color. Now there is a tendency to focus on some extremely convenient and more practical everyday lingerie routine, if we may say so, without, you know, that luxurious shade, luxurious touch.
Thank you.
Okay, and one more question in the chat from Yelizaveta. What do you think? If in recent years there were no social conflicts associated with race and body positive, then Victoria's Secret would change its advertising models and colors?
No, completely no, because exactly the conflict was, you know, such a trigger to change the corporate policy, because Victoria's Secret executives have been asked multiple times questions as to when are you going to involve models of diverse body types, like plus size models, maybe transgender models. And one of the executives in his interview in Vogue in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, told that, you see, it's not our policy. We don't want to because it's not profitable. And then in the USA appeared such a culture as culture of canceling, or canceling culture, and only that triggered actually the changes in the brand, because they now are terrified to decrease to such an extent that they won't be able to come out from ashes. So no conflict, no changes here.
Okay, thank you, girls. It was, yeah, as I said, it was really surprising for me in some time. Let's move on to the next speakers. Yeah, we are approaching the middle of our session, and now Diana Gadjieva and Yulia Orechova from People's Friendship University of Russia as well are going to submit their presentation called How Tiffany & Co. Built a Diamond Digital PR Strategy. Okay, I'm going to show your presentation. Yes, and I can see only Diana. Is Yulia here?
Yes,
she's here.
I'm here. I can be seen.
Okay, that's great. You can see the presentation, right?
Right.
Okay, you can do.
It's a pleasure to welcome you today. Let me start by introducing the authors. We are Orechova Yulia and Diana Gadjieva, and we are here to present the abstract devoted to a famous brand. And we are presenting to you the work How Tiffany & Company Built a Diamond Digital PR Strategy. And Tiffany & Company, also known as Tiffany or Tiffany's, is an American multinational and one of the world's first luxury jewelry retailers. The quick overview of the brand's history showed us the numerous reasons why Tiffany is successful today. They created the unique style, they invented their unique color, and for example, the brand's first catalog, the Blue Book, was published back in 1845, and this book is one of the main attributes of the band, as well as the Tiffany's engagement ring, which is still very popular today. And the company is known for its luxury goods, and it's particularly known for its diamond jewelry. And Tiffany markets is an arbiter of the taste and style. And digital marketing is the mainstay of so many brands these days. And in an age when we can buy everything online, our shopping has become increasingly digitalized, and luxury jewelry brands have realized that their marketing efforts need to be digitalized too. And with such a high value reputation, it's important that Tiffany finds a way to reinforce not to tarnish its brand on social media. And it does so brilliantly. Indeed, each piece of content that Tiffany and Company publishes is as refined and as high quality as any of its products. And as an extraordinary example, we can study two digital marketing campaigns that are engagement drink finder, which is a mobile app, and Not Your Mother's Tiffany campaign. And Tiffany is making engagement their top priority. They retail designed a punishing process to make the user experience as exciting as possible, and most notably through its engagement ring finder mobile app, and that consider it as an unusual step for a luxury brand, for a luxury jewelry brand. And as for the second example, Tiffany is embracing the slogan, "Not Your Mother's Tiffany," and obviously not all the mothers seem to be pleased with this. And Tiffany has posted those videos on Instagram, and there were many people who were putting up not posts online, and it has repeated the slogan on their Twitter. It was added to its website and on its Facebook page. And both of these campaigns generated a lot of response and engagement, and people have been reposting and discussing them. And it is also important to note that they are made in accordance with the history and the corporate culture, the corporate identity of the brand.
Mm-hmm. A very interesting story about the ambassadors that the brand chose to exist. A couple of weeks ago, the American jewelry house Tiffany & Co. named new ambassadors, the Carter couple, Beyoncé and Jay-Z. The landmark event for the brand became known from the new issue of Harper's Bazaar magazine, for the cover of which Beyoncé poses, of course, in Tiffany & Co. jewelry. But the campaign exceeded perhaps even the wildest expectation of the audience, and for the several reasons at once. Firstly, the Carters, as the new faces of the brand, are an ideal solution in terms of balance between the conservative audience and the youth. Since Tiffany recently launched a new campaign that's intended to make brand's audience younger. At first, the results were contradictory. The Not Your Mother's Tiffany campaign, aimed at the youngest generation, insulted older customers as if saying that mom's jewelry is something old-fashioned. But Beyoncé and Jay-Z are unlikely to offend anyone, and they will definitely attract a new audience because Beyoncé is consistently included in the list of the most popular and highly paid female musicians, and she is rightfully considered one of the most significant figures of modern music in the world. However, there are not so many questions in the first photos of this campaign. To be more precise, there is actually one thing, a necklace with a huge diamond on the Beyoncé's neck. Next slide, please. Andrew Hepburn wore a yellow diamond necklace for the filming of the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's, and the actress poses for promotional photos of the film. Next slide, please. Of course, such an event as the Met Gala was not without famous ambassadors. Here are a few of them. The actress surprised everyone not only with her new haircut, but also with the choice of jewelry. For the annual Tracy Ellis Rose Ball, she chose clips and ring from the Schlumberger line, and diamond bracelet with a large sapphire from the Blue Book collection served as a perfect addition to the blue ensemble from Balenciaga. Next. For the red carpet of the Met Gala 2021, the model Hailey Bieber preferred the good old classics. To the sculptural black floor-length dress from the Saint Laurent, she wore a win-win set with the large diamonds. Next.
The actress Laura Harrier chose matching gold earrings and rings with the Snow White diamond from the Tiffany & Co. Schlumberger jewelry collection for her shiny gold dress from Altuzara. It was a significant event that all social networks wrote about. To the conclusion, the components of the successful company are not only the idea and resources, but also the image, the right advertising campaign, and catchy slogans. Tiffany took into account all these requirements and occupied its niche, thus becoming one of the most expensive and exclusive jewelry giants. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, girls. Well, it was like you were not the first who said about Tiffany & Co. have had such a stereotype that these jewelries are for for women, not for young girls and for young women. Yeah, and it is confusing because I like their jewelries and their earrings, and it really looks like something luxurious, and every girl wants to have something from them. Yeah, and thank you for your presentation. And does anyone from the audience have a question? Okay, I can see a raised hand from Diana. The first was.
Yes, thank you. Girls, thank you for your presentation. So nowadays, it is not a secret that Tiffany's color is distinguished as an independent color. And my question is, have you ever wondered why this particular company managed to affect the color semantics of branding so much? How much did the color of this very company affect the promotion of the brand?
Thank you very much for your question. And the color is a very important part of their recognition, like in general. And as this company has a huge history and a very rich background, and they created this color almost 200 years ago, and it's just something that people are consider to be not elegant, and not old-fashioned, but as classic. And maybe I understand that you are interested in this brand and you know something about their culture. Maybe you've heard the last spring they had a campaign when they announced that they are going to change the color of their box, and they're going to switch it to almost yellow or something orange color. And it was just another way to promote their campaign and to make people speak about them and bring up the discussion again. So it's all about the history and the cultural background and like the DNA of the brand.
I wanted to add that for the time it was something super unusual because this color was rarely used by anyone, and just a box with this color choose a bunch of words for the best design and unusual color, even without any contents, just an empty box.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls, and thank you for the question. And the next question from Daria Bakhareva. You can speak out.
Yeah, girls, thank you for your presentation. You mentioned a yellow box, right?
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, it was made on the April Fool's Day.
Yes, exactly.
So do you think that it was done just for joke, or maybe to attract attention as part of a PR campaign, or just for a joke?
Well, obviously, like both of them work well, and through the social media that day, it was quite a huge discussion why they changed, and also they have a few replacement in their SEO production, and they were really considered it to be like a small campaign just for a day, but for some reason it turned out to be not that obvious for the representatives, and it's been quite a discussion through the Russian market, which isn't their main one, because obviously they are the most buying. Their target audience is English-speaking countries and English-speaking people. So yes, so even if it's in Russia was a big deal, I consider it to be just a joke for one day that turned out to be very important for everyone else.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Well, thank you very much for the presentation. And we have to move on to our next speakers, who are Maria Kalashnikova and Alexandra Shipilova, with their topic, Yandex from a Russian searching system to a giant corporation. You have 7 minutes as well, and if you are ready, you can start.
1 minute, please. Our presentation is uploading, so
We can see it already.
Can you see it right now?
Yeah.
Good. So let's start. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And today, me, Kalashnikova Maria, and my colleague Shipilova Alexandra are going to tell you about Yandex and how this company managed to become a giant corporation from a Russian searching system. And to start with, I guess many of you at least once used an Yandex services, and many of you, I guess, even downloaded one of the Yandex apps. And search has always been and remains the main service of Yandex. But today, Yandex is the universal assistant. It's a help and navigator in anything that surrounds us. It's a help in any choice and maybe a help in taking action. And moving on, I'd like to say that today Yandex is the most expensive company on RUDN. The site ranks 13th in the world in terms of popularity. And according to Forbes magazine, Yandex company was the most expensive corporation in 2018, and its value was $12.4 billion. As well, you can see two more most expensive Russian companies on RUDN. And moving on, Yandex gets its main income from the advertising sales. Yandex technologies make it possible to place advertising on desktop and mobile devices and target it at the right audience. And the company offers a comprehensive service for working with all types of advertising. And the tool is called Yandex Direct. And moving on to the history. The history of Yandex started long before the company was founded back in early 90s. And Yandex itself appeared only in 2000, after 3 years of the portal Yandex.com was founded. And today, Yandex has offices and representations in 9 countries and employs more than 2,000 people. And Yandex also operates in such countries as Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Turkey. And now my colleague Alexandra will continue.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. And the question is, why Yandex apps? So according to a new study, mobile internet users prefer to use apps rather than mobile versions of websites. Among 3,500 respondents from around the world who took part in analytical survey, 85% said that they believe that apps are more convenient and responsive than mobile sites. Thereby, users are much more willing to use such apps. And Yandex, in turn, met the needs of the users by creating a lot of different apps for any occasions. And the list of the top apps created by Yandex you can see on the slide. So now a couple of words about Yandex advertising campaigns and slogans. So it's not a secret that the promotion is a huge, it takes a huge part in the success of every company. So only $1,000 was spent on Yandex advertising during the first year of its existence. And after that, Yandex started to advertise in specialized computer magazines. So Yandex was also the first Russian internet company to hold an advertising campaign on television. However, for many years, Yandex didn't conduct the usual advertising campaigns and didn't have partners in massive media agencies, often making everything using their own resources. But with the time goes, concise and succinct Yandex slogans are quickly remembered, so they attract the attention of new users. Such phrases immediately create associations with the brand in question. Here are a few of the most popular slogans used in advertising created by Yandex. And the first one was "You'll find everything," created in 2000. And there were some others. You can see them on the slide. Also, Yandex is the first and so far the only Russian internet company whose slogan won the nomination Best Slogan of the Year, according to the online survey. And it's even managed to beat out the overseas managed Your Dream, created by Toyota. And to conclude, we have to admit that the components of a successful company are not only the idea and resources, but also the image, the right advertising campaign, and catchy slogans. So Yandex took all these requirements into account and occupied its niche, thus becoming one of the most expensive and massively admired business giants.
And thank you all for your attention. And we're happy to hear some questions from you, but first answer yourself a question. If you are to take a taxi or to make a delivery or to look how far is your home, for example, from St. Petersburg, which app would you like to choose and to use? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, girls. Well, since this is a Russian company, I feel proud of such a giant company in our country. Yeah, and thank you for such interesting information. And yeah, audience, do you have any questions? I see how girls are ready to respond to all your questions. Don't be silent. Yeah, Zarina, you can.
Hello, girls. Thank you for your nice presentation about Yandex. So the question is, what's the role of Yandex company slogans? And does it affect people and how?
Actually, the role of the Yandex slogans is quite massive, because when human see the slogan on the advertising, for example, TV or an app, he recognizes it or she recognizes it, and it stays in your brain, I guess. And the next time you see this slogan or maybe a few words, like, verbal markers, you automatically remember about the Yandex company itself. For example, And what actually you asked then after the slogans?
Like, does they affect people?
Sure. Of course, they affect people because it makes people to use also the services of the Yandex. Because as you know, I guess you know, Yandex has too many tools and too many apps, and each app has its own slogan. So your trust is you trust the app because of the advertising company and also slogans, I guess. As well, slogans just help you to recognize the company itself.
And I wanted to add that in general, slogans should create these associations, and I think Yandex managed perfectly with that topic.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much. And something else, maybe someone else wants to ask girls. Okay. Since there is silence, I can understand that no one, everyone gets your presentation and your information. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's move on to our next speaker. It is Anna Misrapyan. Yeah, she is a student from People's University of Russia as well. And her topic is how Kfc turned their worst nightmare into positive PR. Anna, you have 5 minutes. If you're ready, you can start.
Hello, everyone. Moment. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Yes, and how to switch on the slideshow?
Well, actually, I'm not an expert in...
Yeah.
Maybe someone can help.
Can you tell how?
Там внизу такая кнопочка, типа мольберт, не знаю. Внизу справа, внизу справа.
Рядом с масштабом, да?
Да.
Внизу
справа.
А не снизу.
Внизу, в самом низу. В самом низу. Да. Там вот заметки, помочь улучшить офис, заметки.
Can I start without slideshow?
Okay, if you cannot open it, I think it's right. It's okay. We can see it.
So, hello everyone. Today I'm going to speak about Kfc and how Kfc turned their worst nightmare into PR. So, the 2013 Kfc Crisis is one of the best examples of how an organization can face its worst nightmare and yet come out of it much brighter. So, a few words about Kfc. KFC is an American fast food restaurant chain founded by Colonel Sanders in 1930 at North Kentucky. And at first it was known as Kentucky Fried Chicken and opened this first franchise at Salt Lake City in 1952. And it's famous globally for its fried chicken, and it's the world's second largest fast food company after McDonald's. And its franchises can be found in 136 countries with almost 23,000 locations. And now about the background of the crisis. So in the second week of February 2018, KFC switched its delivery contact in Britain to DHL, a company owned by Germany's Deutsche Post, which put the company into the consequences of a shortage in chicken crisis. So the famous fried chicken restaurant ran out of chicken due to supplier issues, and KFC's nightmare turned into reality. But the bright side of the story was the exceptional way in which KFC turned this crisis into positive PR, saving not only the brand's reputation, but also maintaining the customer's trust. And at the peak of the crisis, 900 KFC restaurants shut doors, affecting 19,000 staff and more unhappy punters. And the problem was taking the look of the crisis, and company's reputation was falling down in people's eyes. And there were numbers of people who used to go to KFC to have at least one meal a day, and they started calling the police and complained about the situation. And the police was so fed up by these types of callings that they posted on their Twitter. What here we can see Tower Hamlets police's post on Twitter. Please don't contact us about the KFC's crisis. It's not a police matter if your favorite eatery is not serving the menu that you desire. And this tweet went so viral on Twitter that it was liked more than 20,000 times and was retweeted more than 12,000 times. And we can see the data from social media monitoring service Brandwatch that on the 21st of February there were more than 53,000 posts on social media with the top hashtags KFC, KFC Crisis, KFC Chicken, and so on. And to handle this situation, KFC responded with a full-page newspaper advertisement. And here you can see it, a chicken restaurant without any chicken. It's not ideal. Huge apologies to our customers, especially those who traveled out of their way to find us, but we were closed. And endless thanks to our KFC team members and our franchise partners for working tirelessly to improve the situation. And thank you for bearing with us. And at the end, they provided us with the microsites. You can see it. kfc.co.uk/crosstheroad. And in conclusion, we can say what they did and how we can use it in our crisis management. They showed apology and accountability, what it means that they didn't play the blame game on social media, and they didn't play the blame game with the chicken suppliers, and instead they apologized to the customers directly on social media. Besides, they showed transparency that they answered to all the concerns of their customers via social media. And the third one is gratitude, and the last one is emotion, that they showed gratitude and they thanked globally on social media. And at last, they, in order to make things right, KFC injected the right amount of humor in their key messages. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Anya. Well, it is really interesting to watch a failure of such a giant company and how they handled it. Thank you for the topic you've chosen. So the audience, do you have any questions? Okay, someone, maybe something well, Anya, thank you for your presentation again. I think that it was really clear, and that is why the audience don't have any questions. People from our audience don't have any questions. The next participant, according to our list of participants, I should invite our Chinese guest from Ningbo University. But as I can see, Marwan is not here, unfortunately. So I can check once again, but as far as I understood, we can move on. Okay, and the last but not the least speaker is Zamira Uzakbayeva from Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. Are you here, Zamira? Okay, no one's responding. Well, as far as I understand, there is no Zamira, sorry. So, if so, I want to congratulate all of us with the end of our session. Speakers, thank you very much for your really eye-catching and colorful presentations and amazing speeches. And audience, you guys were so active and curious. And I would shake your hands, but unfortunately I cannot. And well, since it is the end of our session, I wish you a good new week and good luck in your endeavors so we can finish our session. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.